So I just found the mother lode of cool, out-of-print, weird stuff. So check out this stack so far. And I haven't even gotten very far. This guy's got a bunch of movies. Best part is they're $1 a piece. So, pretty amazing so far. Just a lot of weird, obscure stuff here. So I'm amassing this pile. All in very good shape. So if you're in the Raleigh area, come out and check this guy out. It's near the building. There's so many I've not heard of. Poison Ivy 2, that's funny. It's missing me. Fix. Weird. Alpha video, I bet you that never made it anywhere else. Relative Stranger at Close Range. That one's in the print. Chat room. Look at this stuff, guys. Artisan release. Chat room. Brian Hooks. I've not seen this version of Jesus Christ Superstar either. It looks like a 90s version. Yeah, this is one of those where it's just like pretty much a quarter of these movies I've never heard of. This one I've heard of, but I've not seen. Got a shot. Ollie rap. That's funny. He was kind of a rapper. Shut up and sing. Backseat Chicks. Is this a movie? That's weird. It's like the Spice Girls movie. Raka. Last 5 Girlfriends. Wise Girls. I remember watching that with an ex-girlfriend. It was not good. Left Luggage. There's a lot of foreign films I've never heard of. Oral Fixation. That sounds dirty. The stack is getting rather large, and I still got a shit ton to look through. Tenera Boys. Tenera Boys. Look at this Region B here. That's Hoskins on the front. Not heard of it, but it's Region 4. It's in English though. The Return. There's one I've, again, not heard of. Looks like a period piece there. Taekwondo. The Last Straw. Single. There's a couple here. Jenga. Carla. It's like a serial killer movie. Late 90s, early 2000s maybe. Genevieve. What is this stuff? Alright, I need to dismantle this so it's a little windy out. Alright, so I've got them all in there, and they're all in really good shape, guys. Honestly, I cannot complain. King of Masks. Oh my god, there's one I've been looking for. I remember finding it on VHS, believe it or not. Power Passion. Some of these platinum releases. Check that one out. Under Our Skin. Not heard of that one. Oops, I have seen that around. Uptown Girls. Heartburn. Wow. That's in Meryl Streep. Never. I don't think I've heard of that. Jungle Marie Gallant, Spencer Tracy, Sleepy Time Gal, Sundance release, Easy Virtue, Now and Forever, Danielle Steele's Now and Forever. Double check that. Ooh, Nakata's Dark Water, the original Japanese. Very nice. This one unfortunately is beat up. It's a Peter Bogdanovich comedy here from the 80s, I think, or early 90s. But it is past the point of return. Donaldson Packaging Red Hot. Sealed. Incredible, incredible. This is the biggest and best haul I've gotten in a little while, to be honest. Under the Moon.
Oh.
Killer Bros and Killer Bees, like the woo.
Take a look. Hey, Tommy. Turned all around. Good morning to you. Can't seem to get it together. You brought Chris Sandy's records, I think. Oh, yeah, I saw that last week. Ooh. Go for it, mister. He brought him out here Sunday. I heard he brought him out last week, yeah. Yeah.
So many weird movies here, man. I'm just stacking them up. I'm gonna cut a deal with this guy.
This is my good little junk drawer. I haven't seen this in years. I got a bunch of them.
It had to be good. Tasha Henstridge. Bedfellows, Paul Hogan. I've seen that one before, I think. American Buffalo and Game. This film here. These are funny. These are from France, based on Gallic folk heroes. Okay, this is in there. Hard to find stuff like that. Trying to keep this as neat as possible for him. Nothing in common. There's another one I have seen, but I gotta check to see if I have. Alright, this guy's got a ton more here. Dig in. Pilot X, eh? Alpha Video, is this a... This is a film, I thought it was a serial. I'll take that, sell that one. Iron Mask, yeah, I've been wanting to see this. It has a fight scene with Arnie and Jackie. It's supposed to be shitty. I've been keeping an eye on this movie for years now, so I have to watch it. It's cool, but it's only episodes 5 and 6 there. So, don't you? Sonic Underground. That's cool. There's a bunch of kid stuff. Hanukkah on Planet Matzo. Oh man, this is fun. Bilal, got that at the Dollar Tree one day. Downsizing the Jake. Tony Bennett. Check that one. Who knows? Who knows? Dumb beans. Stacked, a complete series. Never heard of that. History of Cinema. Of course, I've got those. Vicar of Dibley, no clue. Pawn Stars. I'm sure it's sealed. I'll take it. I'll take both of those. Heck yeah. He's got some games here. See if there's anything I'm interested in. Here we have some more movies. These are a little sun-drenched, but that's okay. Skins, oh yeah. This is supposed to be a good one. Native American film here. Don't think I have that one. I can see all these as a set. Didn't check the condition, but... Hello. $1. What's this? Love Keeper? Yeah, that looks shitty. Especially shitty. 2 bits. Wait, hold on. What's that? Spinning Boris. Goldblum. Okay. So many films I've not heard of. The Farewell Party. Sure. 2 bits. Yeah. Al Pacino. Never even heard of it. Crimes and Misdemeanors. That's a Woody Allen one. Janine Garofalo Blu-ray. SSGB. Seal. I don't know. This is one of those finds, guys. Holy crap. Lipstick. White American. There's one I've been looking for. I wanted to watch that. The Favor. Bushido Man. Well, that has my name on it. Take Me to the River. Check that one. Okay. These ones too, sir? Can I take a look at these? Awesome. Thank you. Double feature of Momo. Having a bullet with Tretch. I'm a sucker for movies with rappers. He's from Naughty by Nature. Everybody knows Naughty by Nature. Not a fan though, myself. Trina. No Limit. Not No Limit. Who did she fuck with? No. How's the last dance here? Flash. X. Canon to the back. Scotland. Looking rough. I just feel like every pile I pull out, there's something, eh? Pretty crazy. I'm so confused about what these are. It's season 2, volume 6, right? So, Black Boogie. Dynasty. Harrison Ford. What? Weird. The Last Man. Hayden Christensen, Harvey Keitel. First Fortune, not heard of that. What about Anger? The Lock. Ancient legend, one man's nightmare. Kind of interested. Kalia, Northern Exposure. Alright. I've got like 50, 60 movies so far. You got more here? Alright guys, there's some more here. Looks like a lot of anime, some music stuff. Dark Shadows, wow. Always wanted to get into this show. Give that a shot. Air Gear. This looks pretty badass. Pita Tosh. Blaze Blue Die Buster. Aquarian. It's a bunch of anime I've never heard of. Ooh, Mecha. Beautiful. Sayuki Reload. Blaze Blue. Calamity Trigger. It's based on the video game. That is cool. Oh, which one? Drop Dead? Yeah, that's a tough one to find, isn't it? I actually found it, believe it or not, found it at Goodwill recently. And I was like, yes! I've been looking for that movie for years. And I refuse to buy things online. I'm that kind of guy, so it's like, I'll wait till I find it.
I love the hunt.
Me too, man. Me too. Peter Tosh. I'm gonna take that one, I think, too. Yeah, he just keeps splaying them out here for me, so keep on looking. Keep on spending. Billy the Kid versus Dracula. Well, how do I pass that up?
I wish it didn't have the writing on it. But
That's okay. the movie's in there, so I'm sure it's wonderful cinema. MI5. Apocalyptic plate again. It's a Woody Allen one. It's a Region B, Region 2. Interesting. Jazz singer. Alright, cool. Make sure nobody's picking through my stuff. Okay. It's got a couple Apocalypto. They used to be worth a few bucks, but not anymore. There's Dogma. Just more stuff to pick through here. This has got more music ones, Ginger Snaps, Acacia. I have that actually. Why not? Just one PlayStation game in there. Turn the screw. Got my eye on. Dungeons and Dragons. Sealed. Left 4 Dead. Civil War movies, that's weird. Little Shop of Horrors, Bob Ross, McKenna's Gold, more Bob Ross, Sherlock Holmes. What is this? Santa Claus versus the Taliban Time Travelers from Outer Space. Wow. Wow. Six Count Blueland. Wow, this guy has so much cool shit. I'm just gonna be spending a lot of money. A lot of money here. A lot of money. I'm okay with it. What's this marble collection there? Okay. I'm gonna bring these over and I'm gonna finalize and see what I'm taking. All right, guys. Sorry I didn't get the first half of that haul on camera. I was pretty excited and wasn't sure if I could film, but I asked the guy if I could film and he was totally cool. Jack, if you guys are in the Raleigh area, the Raleigh flea market, guy named Jack has a shit ton of cool movies. So check him out, also books and music. So giving him a shout out because he hooked me up. Take a look here. I walked away with 118 movies. Box sets, doesn't matter. He gave them all to me for $1, even though he usually prices them higher. And then 3 books, so that's 121 pieces, and it was $107 was what we settled on. That was all I had in my wallet, to be honest. So pretty awesome. But that's gonna do it for this flea market trip because I don't have any money left. Welcome back to yet another Thriftin / discussion pickup video. I'm kind of mixing a flea market thrifting with a pickup video because I really wanted to discuss some of these and just kind of give you my reactions to some of these movies that I found at this one guy's booth at the flea market. As you saw in the video, that so many films I had never even heard of. A lot that are being added to the collection, even more that I'm selling. Well, it's about equal, the stack that I'm selling, the stack that I'm keeping. A couple of the ones that I'm selling, I'm contemplating selling. That's kind of why I'm doing this as well, because I want to get your opinion about the ones that some of the ones I'm selling off, if they're ones I should probably watch before I sell, or if I should just get rid of them if you guys think I'm not going to like them. So we're going to go quickly over the stuff that I picked up to sell. First and foremost, now, these came after it was all said and done to about $1 a pop. And you can't really beat that at the flea market. The flea market this weekend was pretty dead. I went up and down the yard sales, and there was really nothing to see, no movies at all. And then I go over to the more industrial area of the flea market where there's a lot of regulars and things like that. And there was a guy named Jack, so check him out if you're up near the flea market. He had a shit ton of movies, $1 a piece. He hooked me up. Let's jump right into the stuff that I am picking up to sell. I'm going to go over this stuff rather quickly to get to the stuff that I really want to talk about, the stuff I'm keeping. Johnny Carson, PBS. Of course, I'm getting rid of that. This one, Take Me to the River, beat up case here I need to replace, but this is fetching a little bit. I'm going to sell it off. It actually has something to do with hip-hop, which I'm obviously interested in, but it's just the Memphis African-American music scene, the history of it. So it's pretty interesting, but nothing I'm too interested in keeping. I'll never watch it. It Had to Be You. This one I'll fetch a few bucks off of. A lot of these, just a few bucks here and there. Things I never heard of that I picked up. Tony Bennett documentary by Clint Eastwood, or Clint Eastwood Presents at least. Here's a wrestling one that I'm going to be selling. The Blue Diner, La Fonda Azul. This is a Spanish film, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. From Spain. I could be wrong about that. Yellow Asphalt. Again, there are a few of these that I might take a second look at. Again, let me know if there's any that you recognize that I should definitely keep in the collection. Fine Things. These Daniel Steele ones always fetch a few bucks. Grocer's Son. As you can see, some of these cases I need to swap out. The Last September. Just two films that don't really interest me. Don't seem like they have anything that really is going to get me excited. This is a movie I picked up strictly to sell. Thunderstruck with Kevin Durant, a basketball player, I guess. Deep in My Heart, another one to sell. Janufa, weird documentary ballet thing, I don't know. Havana Gila, Havana Gila. This is the movie about the traditional Jewish song, I suppose. I don't know much about this. Documentary romp through history, mystery, and the meaning of the great Jewish standard. So it digs into the history of the song and just Jewish culture, I suppose. Hava Nagila. Not too interested in it, to be honest. There was a bunch of Jewish-centric cinema there. This is another one, Dough. This one I think is fetching some dough, if you know what I mean. It has a pot leaf on the O there, inside of the O, I should say. So I wonder if they're doing. Oh, okay. So it is like some sort of a pot comedy, Jewish pot comedy. There you go. I don't think I'm too interested. Dark Water. Here's another one that I might end up selling my 2 copies for to upgrade to the Blu-ray. Here we've got one that I'm kind of in the middle. I think I'm going to keep this one around and give it a shot. You guys let me know. Reversal of Fortune. Is this one worth checking out? Great cast. Jeremy Irons, Glenn Close, Ron Silver, Mark Isham does the music. Barbit Schroeder. Based on the book by Dershowitz. Let's see. Nicholas Kazan screenplay. Produced by Oliver Stone. So I don't know much about this. It looks like, it says a black comedy on the backs, but it looks like a sort of a bourgeoisie black comedy. Not exactly sure. My Last 5 Girlfriends. This one's new and sealed. This is fetching a few bucks. The Favor, an interesting cast, but Bill Pullman, Brad Pitt, very young Brad Pitt there. But I'm not too interested in this sort of coming-of-age comedy, it seems, unless you guys tell me differently. Dante's Cove. This is weird. I don't know if this was a legit release or a bootleg or an on-demand release. This is, correct me if I'm wrong, this is basically a gay horror television miniseries. And I don't think I own any gay horror films, maybe one or two, so I thought that was pretty interesting. I want to give this a shot. The only problem is it's like over 3 hours long, so I don't know. It looks goofy, cheesy kind of stuff, but I don't know. Dante's Cove, I had to pick it up because I don't have many gay horror films, that's for sure. Red Hot. This is a film that is hard to find with Donald Sutherland, Carla Gugino. It's about like a Russian guy during the reign of the Soviet Union who is trying to break out in the 50s or 60s or something and become like a musical sensation inspired by the Western musical sensations. I think I'm going to keep this one around, or at least sell the new one and pick up a used one. Next up, we have Piebald, Killa Bros, and Killa Bees. I don't know, guys. I saw Killa Bees on here, and I was like, Wu-Tang Killa Bees, we on a swarm! But it doesn't have anything to do, I don't think, with Wu-Tang. I could be wrong, but it's like some bad indie rock. I don't know, not my thing. Absolutely Fabulous, sealed here. I'll be able to sell that. Got Pawn Stars, sealed, be able to sell that. Jeffrey, here's another gay comedy from the 90s, 1995. Not one I'm too interested in. This one is fetching like 15, 20. So I'm going to get some money back on that one. And then we have one last stack here. Oh, man, this is the big one. This one's worth like quite a bit. Quite a bit. I'm not sure how much I'm going to get for it, but probably 50 to 100. I had a feeling Peter Tosh would have been fetching something. Under Our Skin. This is a Lyme disease documentary. Yes, Lyme disease, which hails from my home state of Connecticut. There, woohoo. Lyme disease is a very serious illness, and this was a documentary made on it to bring awareness to the disease. And it's pretty interesting. It's fetching quite a bit. Nothing I'm interested in there. So, The Farewell Party. This one I'm contemplating keeping. It is fetching 20, 25 bucks or so. But it's another Jewish film, if I'm not mistaken. It's in Hebrew, and I don't have many of those, and it's a cool concept about a group of old people trying to make it easier for people to euthanize themselves if they want to just move on, if they're tired of the dementia, tired of the pain, the suffering. And it sounds like a pretty interesting comedy drama. Blaze Blue, I thought this was an anime, but it's more bonus discs for the PlayStation game, it looks like. So this has 2 soundtrack discs and a bonus disc. Not sure what I'm going to do with that. Probably sell it. Stacked, I thought this was going to be worth quite a bit of money, but it's only worth like fetching $15 to $25 or so. But again, I got all these for $1. It's a Pamela Anderson show from the mid-aughts, 2005-06. So again, nothing I'm interested in there. The Vicar of Dibley. The Vicar of Dibley. I don't know what those 2 words are. Vicar of Dibley. Vicar is something to do with a church, and Dibley, I guess, is a place. But Pawn Stars, another sealed one there. Dombey and Son. I love these BBC titles here. Dombey and Son by Charles Dickens. Janine Garofalo, another one that's fetching quite a bit. I couldn't find much info on this, but it's a stand-up set by Janine Garofalo, who got really her... she was known for Dogma at the time, and working with the, Kevin Smith and all that. So, interesting little double feature, not feature, but you know what I mean, interesting little companion piece here. Left 4 Dead, here's an interesting, like, Civil War, what do they call it, LARPing, or live-action role-playing. Civil War meets a narrative film, meets sort of a documentary. I don't know, it's kind of interesting, but it's fetching a bit, so I think I'm going to have to sell it. And Then There Were None. This one I already have. This is from the 40s, 45, Agatha Christie, and Then There Were None adaptation. Selling this one off because I already have it. Alright, so that's going to do it for the stuff that I am selling to fund the stuff that I'm keeping, and of course make a little bit of profit. Now, again, a few of these maybe I'm contemplating keeping or selling. You guys, I'm depending on to let me know some of these weird, obscure ones if they're worth watching. Everlasting Moments. A lot of foreign pictures I'm keeping in the collection, a lot of foreign films, because I'm always looking to get new perspectives and enjoy different cultures' take on cinema. That is something that I really hold. I feel that it's very valuable to have, and we're very grateful to have it, and we take it for granted. So anytime I could get foreign films that are supposed to be very good, I definitely want to add them to the collection to check out one day. This is a Swedish film, Everlasting Moments. Don't know much about it, guys, but it looks like one that's going to be a tearjerker. Here's quite the doozy of a title. I got home and found out that this was actually a 10-minute short film, sadly, from 2007. But this one is called Santa Claus versus the Taliban Time Travelers from Outer Space. Get all that? This is definitely going to be politically correct. It's going to be informative, I'm sure, in sort of a documentary type of way. No, this is going to be completely ridiculous. I have no idea what this is, but hey. It's called Santa Claus versus the Taliban Time Travelers from Outer Space. Next up, we have a horror film that's a bit hard to find. I think this one was one of the hard to find ones. This one's called Oral Fixation. It's got a great cover. I didn't notice it at first, but look at that cover. It's got like this woman looking up in rapture as she's bleeding from her mouth, her teeth. Finding a good dentist can be hard. Making him love you can be murder. So Jake Cashill directs this little independent horror film, it seems. Horror thriller. I don't know much about this, but hey, it's a horror flick, indie horror flick from the aughts I've not heard of. It's 09 to be exact. 82 minutes, nice and brief. Kind of cool. Oral Fixation. Never heard of it. Let me know what you guys think. Another one that I was thrilled to find, despite the writing on the front here on the artwork. Cheesy Flicks put this one out. It's in the public domain. So a lot of places put this one out, but that is Billy the Kid versus Dracula from 1966, if I'm not mistaken. John Carradine is in this. He is the star. This was towards the end of his career. He was starting to get arthritis real bad and things like that, but still, he had some life in him, and he was doing movies such a long time. The World's Most Diabolical Killer. Billy the Kid. No, probably Dracula. This is a film that I've not yet seen, but one of my good friends, Steve, what up, Steve? He is a proponent of this picture. He says it's better than Frankenstein meets Jesse James's daughter, or whatever that movie is. So, setting a high standard for Billy the Kid vs. Dracula. Next up, we have an archive collection, believe it or not. Not sure if I got this one on camera or not. As you guys saw, I got so excited and missed filming like the first half of the find. That's part of the reason why I'm doing this as well, to sort of fill it in. And I wanted to talk about these and get your opinions. Lionel Barrymore, Sir Cedric Hardwicke from the old Universal films here. Warner Brothers Archive, obviously. This is supposed to be some sort of a comedy from 1939. So, and it has some fantasy elements, so one that I'm really interested in adding to the collection and checking out. Here's a mob film I had not heard of. I feel like I had seen it before. I'm not exactly sure. It looks vaguely familiar. Chaz Palminteri and F. Murray Abraham. One is I can't read. One is a man of honor, one is a man of justice. Only one will survive. Little mob film here from the 90s. This is late 90s, 99, put out by HBO, it looks like. Yep, HBO video, home video. Pretty cool. I'm always looking for I'm always down for a good mob film, especially one that I've not heard of, with a good cast. Asterix and Obelix. This is a French series of films based on the Gallic Wars, or the Gallic people, at least. The Gauls, otherwise known as the Celts, and tons of other, tribal names. And follows, it looks like it has Caesar on the back, so it is like the Gallic Wars, Caesar's, Rome and the Gallic Wars. 1999, this is a French film. There's a ton of these live-action ones, animated ones. I've not seen any. Who knows if it's going to be my kind of thing, but Gerard Depardieu, Roberto Benigni, Christian Clavier, these are all big names in Europe, in Italy and France, so I'll be checking this one out at some point. I think they look pretty goofy, so... Iron Maze. This one's fetching a bit. I don't know much about it, but it has Jeff Fahey, and it's a Japanese production. That's the reason I'm pretty interested in it. Bridget Fonda, Hiroaki Yoshida. I know that name, and there's just tons of, screens. The screenplay is by a Japanese guy and an American guy, so it's sort of a Japanese-American co-production, or maybe it's Canadian. I'm not exactly sure. And it says Oliver Stone Presents, so weird. A lot of big names tied to this. J.T. Walsh. Yeah, I have to check this out. No clue, guys. This is one of those sterling releases. White Irish Drinkers. Don't know much about this, to be honest, at all. Bushido Man. It's a Japanese martial arts film from, the last 10 years or so. Yeah, 2014. So any martial arts film I'm willing to take a chance with, especially Japan, South Korea, the countries that we don't get as many from when compared to Hong Kong and China. Pilot X, Murder in the Sky. This is an alpha video release one that I'm pretty confident never made it anywhere else. A deranged flyer calling himself Pilot X wreaks havoc by shooting down passenger planes. 70 minutes long, 1936. This sounds like pretty cool. I thought this was a serial at first, but it seems like it's a feature film. Got to do a little bit more research, though. And coming over to Harlem Aria. This is a 1999 flick with Damon Wayans as Wes, it says. Follow the Dream. I don't know much about this, but it looks like a pretty decent sort of comedy drama kind of thing. So I want to give that one a shot. Craig Shoemaker. I vaguely remember that name from the 90s. He was like a stand-up guy or something. The Love Master with Farrah Fawcett and George Wendt. Have you guys seen this? Because this is one I'm contemplating getting rid of. Is it worth checking out? It's sealed, so I'll fetch a little bit more on it if I keep it sealed, obviously. Image Entertainment. Yeah, I don't know much about this. Directed by Michael Goldberg and written by Craig Schumacher. I remember this guy. I remember his face. A Dry White Season. Donald Sutherland, Susan Sarandon. This takes place 1976, so after the Civil Rights Movement. I don't know much about the incident, to be quite honest. It looks like it takes place in South Africa. So, during apartheid, I think. If I'm not mistaken, the film was definitely made during apartheid, but I'm not sure exactly what this entails. So without going out on a limb, I'm not even going to risk getting my history wrong. It's something I value. The best way to remember a man is to keep on fighting. Somebody has recommended this to me on the channel before. I think I passed up on it at a Goodwill or something. But I picked it up. this time, 1989. Good cast. Donald Sutherland, Jürgen Prochnow, Zakes Mokai, Susan Sarandon, Marlon Brando. Incredible cast. So have to check that out. You guys know I'm a sucker for the hip-hop, how do I say this, the hip-hop gangster films, so the gangster films that star rappers. There's a whole panoply of these films, and I own a lot of them, but I'm always finding more. Tretch, Love and a Bullet. This looks real bad and real good, if you know what I mean. Tretch is from Naughty by Nature, a group I never really got into because they were a little bit too mainstream commercial for me. OPP, everybody knows OPP. You down with OPP? Blah, blah, be blue. Tretch, Love and a Bullet, gangster flick, action flick too, it seems like. So I will be checking that out one lonely Rainy day. This is a cool one. Carla, a deeply disturbing true story. The Ken and Barbie killers. This is a serial killer film. This one's out of print. Tough to find. Fetching 30 to 40 bucks as far as I could tell. This one will go on the shelf in my horror collection, nice and safe. It's not supposed to be a great movie, but it's out of print, and I have a thing for serial killer movies. Even like the crappy ones like Geen and like the Gacy one. There are a couple good ones, but I don't know. I have a thing for these, and I get into the moods for them every once in a while. They're a little different than horror, right? Because they're based on true events, and they suck out the supernatural elements, the fantastical, and just give you a raw serial killer story which borders on horror. So I really like that kind of thing on occasion. This is Mother, directed by Junho Bong. And this one I don't know. I feel like I've seen this, man. But reading the back, I don't think I have. But I know it's about a mother whose son is wronged in some way, and she has to fight to clear his name. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know if it's violent. I have no clue, guys. We'll have to check this out. This is a South Korean film, obviously, by Junho Bong. This was one of his earlier ones. I want to say after he did The Host. He wasn't a very popular director at this time. He was still popular, very popular in South Korea. The Basketball Fix, another alpha video release here. Another short little flick. I don't know much about it, but it's like a basketball crime film. I don't know. Another one I doubt made it to any other release, any other DVD or Blu-ray. This was so cool to find right up front. Kiriko. I don't know how to pronounce it. Kiriko. This is a French animated film. It also has a film called Princes and Princesses. So it's a double feature here. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I don't know much about Kiriko and the Sorceress. I just know it's a French animated film based on African folklore, if I'm not mistaken, or mythology. And it just looks beautiful. The art style is wonderful. Princes and Princesses actually reminds me of the adventures of Ahmad, if I'm not mistaken. I forget what it's called and who Otto something did the artwork for it. I'll put some comparisons up on the screen here. But this is an animated film I've been wanting to check out for a long time, and I'm going to keep this in the collection. I was thinking about selling it to upgrade to the blue, but it doesn't have Princes and Princesses, the Blu-ray. So that is a full feature film that I want to check out. So very cool double feature here, going to go right into the animation collection. An Iñárritu film by Javier Bardem, beautiful. This is a film that I just want to check out basically on its merits. Alejandro González Iñárritu, and who did 21 Grams, Babel, Amores Perros. He also did he do The Revenant, if I'm not mistaken? I might be getting it mixed up. But this is Javier Bardem. He's always good. This is a more dramatic turn for him, so I want to check this out. Here is a bootleg of a film that I would have loved to have the original release of. This is not... It's a bootleg, but it's also sort of a like a screener. It's got the DVD order date and all that. This is a film starring Trina, which actually was apparently... So, this is based on the classic Greek comedy Lysistrata, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, forgive me. And this movie was kind of used by Spike Lee to update, because he liked the idea, like a hood version of Lysistrata, and so he updated it in the form of Chirac, which he did a few years back now, and was a musical, again, a lot like this. So that's kind of an interesting historical piece here, especially when it comes to hip-hop. It's got Trina right on the front there, so platinum-selling rap artist in her movie debut. I'm sure it's shit. Talking about movie debuts, I don't know if this was Harrison Ford's debut, but Dynasty. I mean, this is around the time he did Apocalypse Now and Force 10 from Navarone, so it's probably not his debut, but it's a film called Dynasty based on James Michener's book. Stacy Keach, Amy Irving, Sarah Miles. I would imagine Harrison Ford has a lesser role than he's made out to have on the front here. Lee Phillips directed. Don't know much about this movie, but I picked it up because it's an early Harrison Ford performance. Pretty cool. Alright, and the last stack here. Here's another really cool one, guy, just one person out there. Les 7 jours du Talion. Forgive my French pronunciation. I suck at it. It's also known as 7 Days. So this is, I would imagine, a French horror film. called 7 Days from the year 2009. So another foreign horror film that I've never heard of. And yeah, it's called 7 Days. I don't know, is that a reference to The Ring? I have no idea. Is it a straight up horror film? I have no clue. It more looks like a crime thriller. I don't know. I'll have to give it a shot. Do you guys know anything about this one? 7 Days. Weapons of mass distraction. I thought it said destruction at first. And I was typing it into Letterboxd and I couldn't find it. And then I was like, oh, I'm bad at reading. Distraction. Weapons of mass distraction. Gabriel Byrne, Ben Kingsley, some sort of a dark comedy satire kind of thing about, let's see, Backstabbing World of Big Business from the award-winning pen of Larry Gelbart. Another HBO release. These are hit or miss, but I don't know. The vast majority of the ones I've seen, to be honest with you, are pretty decent to good. A couple are great, the HBO video releases. I've not really seen any that are subpar or below average, but yeah, so I'll have to check this one out. This was really cool to find. I had been looking into this film recently. I don't remember much about it, but about what I was looking into, but it has something to do, here's the film, Series 7. It's some sort of a televised show, like violent show of some sort in the near future. I could be getting this wrong. Series 7, my first film, imagines a 3-episode marathon broadcast of the highest-rated program on American television, a reality show called The Contenders. Each week, 6 contenders are selected by lottery, assigned cameramen, armed with guns, and forced to battle it out. Yes. So it's like a battle royale kind of thing mixed with Big Brother or like the reality show craze of the late 90s, early 2000s. Sounds so good. Sounds like my kind of thing. The year 2001, it sounds satirical, even pseudo-totalitarian. Science fiction kind of thing. Doctor Strangelove meets Network. That sounds great and right up my reality. Right up my reality. Strong violent content and language. I'm in. Here's another one, Left Luggage. This is another one that is fetching quite a bit, so please guys, I implore you to let me know if this is worth keeping in the collection, worth checking out. It is, let's see where this film is from. It is in English. Okay, I thought it was a foreign film, but it does not look like it is. Set in Antwerp, Belgium in the early 70s, Left Luggage is the touching and emotional story of Chaja, a rebellious philosophy student struggling to come of age. Isabella Rossellini, Maximilian Schell, Marianne Sagebrecht, Chaim Topol, Laura Fraser, Jeroen Krabbe, who I believe also directed the film. So, don't know much about this guy. Seems like a family drama period piece. This one I'm definitely keeping in the collection. I'm curious to see what you guys know about this film because this is a film that was on my watch list, but it lapsed from my memory. I forgot it existed. Bandit Queen. This looks like a movie that's gonna kick my ass. I don't know. It looks like a very politically driven movie. Obviously, it's got war. It seems to have some action. It is in Hindi with English subtitles, directed by Shekhar Kapoor. So I'm counting on you, you guys out there, the people that watch this channel that are into Bollywood and Tollywood films, to let me know if first of all, this is one of them because it looks like it and sounds like it, and what you guys think of it. It looks like a badass movie about a female, basically a female freedom fighter. So I am really looking forward to checking this out. Rip-roaring action adventure, it says on the front by the New York Times. Very happy to add that one to the collection. Another one, rounding out the Damon Wayans collection here. You know, I've got his action movies like Most Wanted and Low Down Dirty Shame. Mo Money was really the first film after like In Living Color and things like that for him to get recognition from. And White Chicks, I'm wondering how White Chicks holds up today. It's kind of a relic of the aughts. A film like that couldn't be made today, I would imagine. So, yeah, I want to check that one out again because it was one we used to like back in the day, but I was an idiot and I was in high school. The Dunera Boys with Bob Hoskins, a Region 4 release actually in English. This is a really hard film to find. I don't think it was ever released in America in this region. I have the Laserdisc actually, which I'll be able to sell off now because I have the DVD. And yeah, this is in full screen, but I think my Laserdisc is also full screen. This is a war film, period piece, World War II. It's got Joe Spano, Bob Hoskins, Warren Mitchell. A good cast, and don't know much about it, but it's a hard one to find, and I'm happy to add it to the collection. Spinning Boris. This is a film about Boris Yeltsin, who was a Russian presidential nominee and president It's a cagey political satire with Jeff Goldblum, Anthony LaPaglia, and Liev Schreiber, directed by Roger Spottiswoode. So hopefully it's a sharp political satire. I know a bit about Yeltsin and a bit about Russian history. I know a good amount about Soviet history, but not so much post-Soviet. So this will be interesting for me to check out. Aquarian, the complete series. This seems like a cool mid-aughts mecha anime with 26 episodes. It looks like it's pulling from Godzilla and all the great mecha anime that we know and love. I've never heard of this, but hey, for $1, I will gladly add this to the collection. Another goofy-looking mid-aughts, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe this one's... Yeah, 04. And this one here, I think, is around the same time. It's called Air Gear. Have you guys seen this one? The complete collection, episodes 1 through 25. I love when it's the complete story. It says plus special trick. I don't know what that means. And it looks like a fun action-heavy anime with crazy over-the-top sequences. So we'll check this one out. Air Gear. With a name like that, how can you go wrong? Heartburn. Meryl Streep, Jack Nicholson, romantic comedy by Mike Nichols. I picked it up because of the actors involved, and I had never heard of this Jack Nicholson movie. Same thing here, I never heard of this Pacino movie with Jerry Barone and Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio. 2 bits. This seems to be an American homage or version of Cinema Paradiso, which was an Italian film. This one's directed by James Foley. It seems very similar in themes to Cinema Paradiso. Even coming down to the fact where like the kid has somebody he looks up to in Al Pacino's character, and I think cinema has a part to do with it. I don't exactly know, but it has that feel, that nostalgic feel that Cinema Paradiso has. So 2 bits with Al Pacino in a supporting role. Never heard of it. King of Masks. I remember finding the VHS of this at a thrift shop a long time ago, and I passed up on it because it was on DVD, and I finally have come across the DVD. This is a film, a drama, that I don't know much about. It's directed by Wu Chanming, and 1996, Shaw Brothers, so very late Shaw Brothers production here. And it is full screen, sadly. I'll have to look in to see if I could sell this for a widescreen version. Why is it full screen? Unless it was filmed in full screen, I doubt it, because it's from 96. But either way, this is a film I've been wanting to check out, so that is The King of Masks. It's going to be a tearjerker. Love Crime, Ludivine Sagnier and Kristen Scott Thomas. Looks like a satirical, dark comedy crime film. The Turn of the Screw. This is based on Henry James's famous seminal novel, haunted house novel, Turn of the Screw, which really set the groundwork for almost every haunted house novel after it, including things like Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson and Hell House by Matheson, and it continues on, of course, Rose Red, Stephen King, and tons other, but it all kind of starts with Henry James's The Turn of the Screw, a gothic British ghost story. So this is an adaptation of it. Looking forward to checking it out. I thought this was just a Chinese martial arts film, of which there are a plethora of that I have so many of, but this is unique because it's actually South Korean. And it's from the 70s, I believe. I forgot the year now. But it has that look like it's from the mid-late 70s or so. South Korean martial arts around the same time Shaw Brothers was doing their thing in Hong Kong. Very cool. It looks very Hong Kong, even in terms of the makeup. So Skins. This is a Native American film. Native American Indian American film. There are many ways to say that. But it's a film about the indigenous people of the Americas, in specific North America. This is a straight-up drama. Don't know much about it, but I've heard many, many good things in terms of Native American cinema. This is one of the best, I hear. And last but certainly not least, Grindhouse Experience presents Spaghetti Western Bible, Volume 1. 10 feature film collection, Cowboys, Crooks, and Charmers named Trinity. Tedium, in a film that inspired the Trinity franchise, starring Jack Palance. Revenge of Trinity. Vivo Django. Blackie the Pirate, that sounds politically correct. Bulldozer. Kid Stuff. Diamond Peddlers, Jesse/Lester, Trinity and Bambino, Trinity Goes East. So a lot of Terrence Hill films, a lot of Bud Spencer in here, and just a lot of fun-looking Grindhouse. Tarantino probably loves all of these films. It's that kind of a set, you know. Grindhouse Experiences probably came out around the time that Death Proof and Planet Terror did. 08, yep.
And I gotta love that cover. It's pretty goofy with Bud Spencer and Terrence Hill on the front there. So I'll be looking forward to taking a look at this. I'm not expecting the quality to be great, but it was pretty cool to find this for $1. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this little amalgam video that's half thrifting, half flea market thrift, half pickup discussion video, because I really wanted to talk about these films and show you them one by one. Please let me know which ones I should keep in the collections, which ones I should kick, if there are any of your favorites here. I'd love to get your opinion on that. Feel free to leave that down in the comments below. I also have a Patreon and t-shirts. Links are in the description below, so feel free to check those out if you so please. If you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel and want to see more videos like it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well as the little bell for notifications. Anyway, guys, I will see you all next time. BoredCyborg is out, and I can't roll, guys. There's just too much stuff around. I can't do a roll out of frame. I'm going to do it.